Hey guys, Alex here from Homeschool of Bel Air. I was going to take a little moment real quick and show you guys what's in my first graders' workboxes. If you're interested in finding out, stay tuned. So this is a little chart that I created for him. Every box or every bin has a subject label. So as we work through it, we go ahead and transfer the label to the big sheet that I have hanging from the side of it. On the bottom, it just gives him some instructions for his fun box. It says, I can get my fun box only if mom is busy or I'm done with all my work. Top work bin just has his morning binder. Nothing special there. It's just a little calendar that I created for him. And then there's the little weather graphing also. And then towards the back, I do have a few things that I have him work on. He still tends to flip the B and the D, the P and the Q. So I do have him trace this and write it out on top of the sheet. And then right now he's working on diagraphs. So I do throw in some sheets, and these are from All Students Can Shine. I believe I got these from Teacher Pay Teachers. And it's a whole booklet, but I only put the pages that we're working on, and it's just extra reinforcement in the morning. So it's part of his morning work. The second drawer down is his writing and penmanship. And lately the way that I've been doing it is I just have him do his handwriting from the Xander Blaser book, just because I'm trying to finish it by the time we have 13 weeks left in school. So I want to make sure that we actually finish it, and we are almost done. So I have him work from this Monday through Thursday, and then every Friday I allow him to choose to do a page from this or a page from his Lakeshore Learning writing prompt journal. So he gets to decide. Today he did one inside the draw and write. But that's the way that we've been doing writing and penmanship. So that's what's inside of there. Inside the third bin, we have his grammar. Inside the grammar, all we have right now is his interactive notebook and the few books that we sometimes work out of. So that being his Spectrum Language Arts or his Scholastic Grade Grammar Practice. So depending on what we're on, when it comes to his interactive notebook, I'll find a page in either one of these books. All right, so the next bin down, I'm gonna try to position you, is, I just call it Sight Words, and it's a book that we work out of that just happens to have 6 sight words for every lesson. So this is what we work out of. So the way that I set it up for him is it's already pretty much set up for the 5 days a week. So it pretty much goes from the little tab that I put on, and he does one a day. I believe this week he has 2 on Friday, I think. And it pretty much goes up to this. That would be 1 lesson. And for that 1 lesson, he has a page of sight words that he works with for that whole entire week, and a little reader that I add in his book that focuses on those sight words. So this is how we do our sight words, and he really does like this little activity book. So this is what we do for his sight word practice. Oh, along with his interactive notebook. Usually I just have him do a page inside his interactive notebook if he really has trouble with a certain sight word. That just to reinforce that sight word, and it's just so I know that he really gets it and knows how to spell it and read it. So the next bin down is his language arts bin. Inside the language arts bin, I have his reader that we read out of. I have his little notepad that I have him write, answer questions, or do extra activities in. And then inside the folder, I add the pages for the week. So after we read the story, we do one of these activities a day. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday, he has a test. Also, what I do with the story, like for instance, Monday, he has to start this new story. Did you see Chip? It gives you, obviously, the genre of the story. And then you read the story. And then at the end, it gives you the think and respond, which is just a reading comprehension. And then we do different activities throughout the week. Like maybe on Tuesday, we'll go ahead and read about the author and the illustrator. On Wednesday, we'll go ahead and I'll find one of these different activities to do. For instance, for next week, I decided we're going to do the best part. So he's going to get to choose the best part of the story and draw and write about it. And I'll set you how I set up his notebook for that. The other thing we're going to talk about is the setting of the story. And most of these responses or reading comprehensions, we just talk about it. I don't have him write anything down. He hates writing, so as long as I could ask him the questions and he understands what the story's about, I'm okay with that. So I'll show you guys real quick how I set up his notebook. So for every story, I write down the title of the story. The first one wasn't a good example, but for instance, here, I'll show you guys most recent one. Okay, so last week we did I Am a Butterfly. So I wrote down the page that it's in, the words to remember, which are his vocabulary words for that story. Genre, nonfiction. Author and photographer, he wrote Stephen Swinburne. And then we did page 32, more insects. So we got to talk about more insects and he had to draw another insect. So for this story that we're going to be doing, Did You See Chip? I just go ahead and fill everything out the day before. Like for instance, today, this is set up for Monday. So I write down the page of the story, genre, author, illustrator, so he gets to fill all this out. Words to remember, so he writes his vocabulary words there. Think and respond with mom, that just means that I'm going to give him the questions, and as long as he answers them verbally correctly, I know that he's understanding what he's reading. And then the best part, which is going to be his drawing, right, about the story, or his favorite part of the story. So that's usually how I set up that curriculum. So that's language arts. For spelling, I kind of do the same thing. With the Words Their Way notebook, we just work lesson by lesson. So Monday, he'll start sort number 9. So we'll go ahead and work on that. Tuesday, sort 10, and so forth. So we're just kind of going in order with this book. For the spelling, the Hutton Mifflin spelling and vocabulary, I go ahead and pull out the pages for the week. And I stick them inside of this little green folder. And these I do label because some days he has more than one. So like Monday, he'll have 2. Tuesday, he'll have 1. Wednesday, 1. And then Thursday, he'll have 2. And then Friday, 1, which is more of a review, I guess, on these 2 units. By Tuesday, it'll ask for you to add, or for the child to go ahead and add his words inside his writer's dictionary. So I have his little writer's dictionary here, and he knows to grab it, and he has to put them in alphabetically. So he'll just find the letter that he needs to sort them in, and he'll write them in. So that's how we have that set up. So all that stuff is in there ready for him. Okay, so next one up is reading. And for reading, right now we're doing all about reading. Sorry, it was kind of stuck. So I keep his little reader in here and his little notebook and I had mentioned inside the curriculum video that I had done with his work, I had shown how the pages that I rip out of his activity book, we do go ahead and glue them, and we kind of just made almost like a little interactive notebook out of them. So we can always go back and look at what he's done. If we need extra practice on one of the little pages, the warm-up sheets, we can just go and rip it out and read it again. So this is how we have it set up. So I go ahead and have this little thing in there. And along with the activity book, but what I tend to do is I rip out the pages out of this guy too, and I throw them inside this folder. So I just have them set up here, the lessons for the week. And with All About Reading, we're up to about 3 to 4 lessons a week. I'm trying to work this into 5 days a week because we are on crunch time. Like I said, we're 13 weeks away from ending this school year. So I really want him to be able to start level 2 by August, by the time we start school again. So for instance, I already have it set up for Monday. I have it set up for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday already, but for Monday, I already have his little words in here that we're going to be working on. Also for that lesson, it asks for a spatula, so I have his little spatula ready in here also. So I have all that already set up for him for his reading lesson for Monday. Now, the second bin is reading also. It doesn't have a tag, but that one is reading as well. And this is just supplementary reading. I have a a hardcourt reader in here, and this is for grade 1, and it's just stories. So if we have extra time, I can just give him this book and he can just choose a story, and most of them are pretty age appropriate for, or reading appropriate for his reading level, because it is a grade 1. So he can just pick a story out of here and just sit down and do some quiet time reading. So I have this in here. Also, depending on what type of lesson we're working on when it comes to all about reading, like for instance, on Monday, I noticed that we're going to be focusing on the digraph the, or th. So I pulled out my progressive phonic book so we can just kind of work on a little bit more on those digraphs. So I went ahead and pulled that out, and again, that's just supplementary. And then our reading lesson, the reading lesson book, I believe we're on lesson 20 right now. I can't remember. I do keep one of these in here because I don't like for him to write in case there's any kind of writing involved. So I just kind of slip this on the page, and it turns it into a little dry erase page. So that's what we have for reading. Monday, we do start when it comes to math. Oh, and that's our last bin, math. And I do keep any kind of manipulative that he might be using for that week. We are going to go ahead and start our primary mathematics 2A. I had purchased him, I started with 1B, and we just kind of finished some of the pages from there, and he looked through it and he said he was pretty much ready for this one. So we're going to go ahead and start this on Monday fresh. And so inside his math, all he has is his, the textbook and the workbook for Singapore Math Primary Mathematics. And then we also have just a little notepad just to do extra work, or if he needs extra space to write in. And then we still have the math for the gifted student. We haven't worked from this in a while. He's, like I said, I had started him on the Singapore Math 1B, and we just completed it, and he really enjoyed this math. So we're going to go ahead and start this on Monday, like I said. So we're just working on this Monday through Friday. And that's how that's what's inside his little work bins for this. The other thing I have set up for him is his extra work. The extra work bin just has little sticker books, any kind of coloring book, just anything. If he's done with something or done early but he doesn't want to go downstairs, he can just sit up here and work on any of these. The other thing is the fun box. The fun box, he just has activities set up, and like I said, this is mainly if he's done with schoolwork, he can pick something from here, something from here, or if he's just waiting on me if I'm working with my 5-year-old. So that is it, guys. That's what we currently have in my first graders work boxes. Thank you.